Hi, my name is Regina Yalamesqua, and today I want to talk about a problem that affects us all, which is gender inequality. When I was a child, I was curious about everything. I always wanted to know how things were made and why they work that way. I always wondered why they say pink is a color for girls only, or that toy cars are for men. I didn't like hearing my uncles tell me from the age of 8 that I was very pretty and that I was going to have many boyfriends, or that I had to prepare for the kitchen in order to get married. Therefore, I have always been interested in knowing why our gender determines activities we must do, the tastes we must have, or what we must be. As I grew older, I realized that I needed to fight for my rights and my safety. Many people around me have suffered from gender violence, sexual harassment, and rape just for being women. From a point of view, gender violence and the lack of equity between them is one of the most important social problems today. We cannot continue to accept these imposed roles, much less discrimination and hatred. These days in quarantine, thanks to COVID-19, I have seen a lot of news about femicides, and I am concerned that many of them have been caused by parents, boyfriends, husbands, or uncles, people with whom we think we're safe by being close to us, but we are not. From January to June 2020, 489 femicides were registered in the country, which represents an increase of 9% to the femicides registered in the first 6 months of 2019, according to the data from Executive Secretary of the National Public Security System. Confinement derived from the coronavirus pandemic led to a 60% increase in records of violence against women in the home in Mexico, according to figures from the United Nations. We are not safe even in our homes. Anyone can be the person who does something to us. Now, due to the coronavirus, there is a curfew. Some of us probably are safe in our homes, but many other women are not. There are women who are threatened not to leave their homes, so it can be dangerous to do something. COVID has brought us many consequences, and one of them is unemployment. I was chatting with a friend recently, and she told me that her mom lost her job. She thought they had made a normal job cut, but then she realized it had only been jobs held by women. Her male coworker, who held the same position as her, still has it. Until now, her mother has not been able to get a stable job because there are not many jobs available right now. There has always been a lack of job opportunities for women and also a lower pay. It is easier for women to be fired from their jobs than it is for a man. So my question is there a higher percentage of unemployment towards women during this confinement? The participation rate of women in the labor force in Mexico lost 5.8 percentage points between July 2019 and July 2020, a greater drop compared to the drop in the male rate that was 5.4 points, revealed data from the National Institute of Statistics and Geography, INEGI. All this because of the COVID-19 virus. Female participation in the labor market went from 44% in July of last year to 39% in the same period this year. The problem here is that male participation ranged from 77% to 72%, according to the National Survey of Occupation and Employment New Edition. I think that inequality of wages and work have been noticed in this last year. Not only do men support entire families, so do women. However, although the quarantine has affected the majority of us economically, it has had a greater impact on women, as can be heard in the survey. Feminism seeks that women with few resources have a job stability and basic protections within it. Paid housework, which is mostly demanded by women, has been greatly reduced. This I had to see because my grandmother did not continue to offer employment to the domestic worker who worked with her. She was afraid of the coronavirus situation and preferred to do the work herself. However, women usually seek this type of jobs because they need the money and not because they want to work in it. It is difficult to make money at this time. People who work in office continue to work from home and receive their salary regularly. But this is not the case for domestic workers, who should also have the right to receive a salary in times of crisis. The situation of household staff, of which 80% are made up of women, has been serious. Worldwide, a worrying percentage of 72% of domestic workers were left without work. Even before the pandemic, paid domestic work didn't enjoy basic labor protections, such as paid vacations, notice periods, or severance pay. These jobs are not valued as they deserve, and unfortunately, most are held by women. However, some people did not even receive their salary when they were asked to stop working in the middle of the month. I would like all employers to treat all their employees the same, regardless of their gender. The coronavirus has taken many things from us, but it also has left us many. However, there are many problems that have been magnified by this virus. Many minorities are directly or indirectly affected by it more than many of us. We must think that although we swear that we are in a horrible position, we are not as affected as others. Now, my curiosity that has characterized me since I was little has led me to worry about women who don't have the same privileges as me. Equity of right is needed in our society, as well as justice and the eradication of impunity. As women, we must see beyond our reality and fight for the rights and opportunities of all in order to grow as a society based on respect, peace, and justice. The reason why I chose to speak about this theme is because I am a teenager in Mexico, and I live daily in fear of being deprived of my rights and dignity of life. I care about women who are close to me and who I don't even know. I care about my country, about my future, and all Mexican women. I want to fight for my rights and love my life so I can leave a better world for the next generations. With this video, I would like to raise awareness about the seriousness of the problem and encourage people to speak up and fight for their rights. Finally, I want to ask you a question. Men, are you willing to help deconstruct your sexist habits, thoughts, and costumes? Will you correct the people around if they make violent and misogynistic comments or actions towards women? And more importantly, women, are you willing to speak out on issues that affect us all? Will you really seek justice and equity in our rights? Thank you for your time and your attention.